This chapter is on entering your information into your workbook, and we'll start out by talking about entering your information. Now that you have a basic understanding of worksheet or workbook organization and many of the tools and features available to you in Excel 2003, it's time to begin entering the actual contents of the worksheet, starting with the so-called raw data. And this can be the text as well as the numbers you want to include in your document. And this is what we'll do here as part of this whole chapter. Yet, here's something to consider before you begin, and this applies equally to the numbers or values as it does to text or labels. When should you format? There is no right or wrong time, so long as you do it by the time you need to finish your worksheet, or at least finish what needs to be in the current session, or before you share it with someone else. Well, here in this chapter, our focus is on entering the data. Understand that you can format any of several times. For example, 1, you can format before you enter your data. 2, you can format as you go. 3, you can enter your data first and then go back and format later. You'll also find that as we talk and go through chapters, you'll learn about styles and things like that, so you can kind of create formatting packages that you can apply to other workbooks. And as we go through the next chapter, I'll show you how to perform the actual common formatting for various situations. One thing to notice is that if you enter a dollar and cents amount or other figure that requires a decimal point and numbers to the right of the decimal point, even if the formatting is not correct when you enter it, Excel actually remembers what you've typed. Here's an example. Let's go here to cell C6 and let's enter the amount 7702 and press enter. Here turns out that our formatting has not been set up yet, so that it's not giving us 2 decimal places after the decimal point, so that we can actually include the cents amount as well as the dollars. You also don't have a dollar sign, and that's fine. You don't have to type the dollar sign, because you can format the cell, column, or row to automatically add it. Second, even though when you entered the $77.02 in the cell, you only saw 77 or 77.0. When you reformat the cell arrange so that there are 2 places after the decimal point, the cents will appear just as you typed them before. For example, if we went back and we chose to format this cell so that it was appropriate and we chose accounting, we could add a decimal place, add the dollar sign, and now it appears exactly as it should. We didn't have to go back and retype it because it remembered that it was $77.02 even if it didn't show it when it first was entered. Also, for those of you very new to working with worksheets and spreadsheets, here are a few suggestions. If you plan to copy material from other documents on your PC, be sure to have those documents open. Next, try to work as orderly as possible, either working down columns or across rows, or both at once. Jumping around the worksheet to enter your data is more apt to lead to errors. If you need to stop in the entry, make a quick note to yourself where you left off. 4. Consider reviewing your work every certain number of cells, like, for example, after you get across a row of data, or every 5 cells, for example, just to make certain that you're getting the information in there correctly. 5. Be conscious of any cells in a block of data that you may need to leave blank, either permanently or temporarily. You don't want to fill them in accidentally by jumping ahead in your entry, so that you, for example, meant to have a blank space here, but in the course of entering your data, you automatically fill this in, and then maybe you get to the end of this row and notice that you're 1 entry short. Okay, let's move on.